Hey, what's up? This your boy JB. Welcome back to another episode of The Whole Truth and Nothing But the Truth with JB Greer. I know you saw the title. Get ready because it's going to be a banger. I know you might think it's one thing, but it's definitely going to be something else. So sit back, get ready. Let's watch a couple of these clips to get us started off, and I'm going to come in and do a little commentary.
Black people, they've been giving money and free stuff, government programs, and money for 60 years. They have only gotten worse. They haven't gotten better.
Well, Trump was interviewed by the National Association of Black Journalists. By the way, who knew that we had that? Why do we need a National Association of Black Journalists? Why not just journalists? I don't know. Am I crazy?
What I like to see happen. I like to see us have the opportunity for people to hear that there's other people who are of the melanin that have a difference of opinion. Donald Trump got plenty of black people that support him. I honestly believe that every rational person who's not indoctrinated and who's not, sipping a Kool-Aid.
All right, guys. So we saw those videos from Candace and Officer Tatum and Jesse Peterson. Man, let me just start off by saying these people are not coons. They are not Uncle Toms, and they're definitely not sellouts. I remember growing up in Oak Cliff, Texas, and I used to try to tell black people that there was a better way. I don't think we have to hate other people to get along in this earth. Man, I just got tired of hearing stuff like, I had an older lady who kept me when I was younger, and she would tell me stuff like, "You born into this world with a mark against your boy. Your skin is black." Man, I would just think, well, why teach me about God if you're going to tell me my skin is against me? Now, either I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, or my skin is going to hold me back in this world. This was so confusing coming up as a kid because they kept telling us this stuff. So as I got older and got into junior high school and high school, I started hearing the words sellout and coon and Uncle Tom and bootlicker and cracker liquor. I mean, all of the crazy stuff you could hear. This was the stuff that people said to me. And for a long, long time, even into my adulthood, I felt like I stood on ground that nobody else wanted to stand on. I always felt in my heart, I think God set that up for me so that I would never be like, I hate them white people or it's them white people fault. Even though I heard it a lot as a kid, it never really resonated in my spirit that that's where I was supposed to be doing or talking to people because my mom, she wasn't that person. She didn't raise me to, I hate white people or, to be against anybody because of their color. She always raised us to love God and to love others regardless. So I didn't really, get that from her. I think it was more so from people around me, like the old lady who, kept me. She would teach me stuff about, hey, your skin is against you. You just got to get your head down and work double hard as everybody else is doing because they gonna be after you. And I was like, who is they? And why I have to be, looking over my shoulder for somebody I don't even know. This is the confusing stuff that we teach our black children. And then we take them to church and tell them, with God, all things are possible. But that white man, he gonna keep you from doing what you want to do. Man, when I saw people like Candace and the Officer Tatum and Jesse and the Hodge twins, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, man, because I had felt like I was going nuts at times. Even on Facebook back in the day, I would, make statements about certain things being wrong in the black community. And man, if you ever want to get attacked, start bringing up what's wrong in the black community when they trying to go after something else. Man, you will get your head beat sideways. I remember when some things were popping off. I ain't gonna go exactly to what it was, but there were some things popping off back in the day, and I kept trying to bring up the fact about how we kill each other, and nobody wanted to talk about that. It was always, well, the white man is killing us, and I would say, well, the black man is unaliving us. I'm sorry, I don't think I could say that word, but anyway, we're unaliving each other at a rate higher than any white man has. I said, I grew up in the '80s as a teenager, and we weren't running from the KKK. We was trying to watch out for that dude across the street that's got on all blue, make sure he wasn't about to pull out a Uzi and just spray everybody down in a drive-by. So it was totally different for us. I'm the baby of 8 kids, so I grew up in, pretty much by myself. My brothers and sisters are all older than me. It's a 10-year difference between me and the last girl that was born. So they grew up in a time period where they saw that, you had to go to a black only bathroom, or you couldn't go in the front of a store, or you had to ride on the back of the bus, or, you couldn't drink out of this water fountain. Well, I never saw that. And while I can appreciate what they went through, it doesn't hold any it doesn't hold any weight in my life because I didn't experience it. I went to school with all different races. I dated girls that were from other races. So I didn't understand why everybody had this chip on their shoulder. And of course, I seen Roots and I seen some of the other TV shows and how they keep you reminded of what happened back then. And I think that's where a lot of the anger comes from, is that they never let you forget it. Every time you turn around, they got a new slave movie out, and when they put it out, they advertise it to the nth degree. Make sure you go see it, and all it does is just incite people to be even more hateful to each other. So I try not to watch stuff like that. I try to watch what I listen to. So in listening to Jesse Peters and Candace, the Officer Tatum, the Hires twins, as I said before, man, I just want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, because I really felt like I was going crazy at times. I didn't never hear anybody talking about what I had in my heart to say. And I was really kind of afraid to talk about it too much because, you didn't want to be an outcast. You didn't want everybody to think you was crazy. Even my brothers and sisters didn't understand where I was coming from when I said, certain things like, well, why can't we love them? Why can't we, pray for them to come to Christ? And when I got saved, man, I got radically saved. And God washed all of that stuff out of my heart. If I had any hate for anybody, it was gone. Uh, I just know that how he forgave me of the things I did and how much he loved me and showed me his love through his son, Jesus Christ. So I was willing to pass that on to other people. But unfortunately, there was people who didn't believe that way. Even people who are saved have this crazy thing about color in their heart. I used to sell Christian T-shirts, and on the front I had a guy, in a foot with a football uniform on, busting through the shirt, and he said, "I'm that Christian that Satan warned you about." And I guess the skin color wasn't dark enough, and I had some black people say, "Well, I don't want no white guy on my shirt. I want a black guy." And I thought, what does it matter? It's the message that matters. What does the color have to matter? So, kind of bound into the pressure, I went ahead and did, a couple like that. But I just thought, hey man, it doesn't matter. It's a cartoon. What does color have to do with cartoon? So anyway, when I started listening to these people here that, people have called coons and sellouts and Uncle Toms, I like, man, I've been called all of that stuff my whole life because I saw through different eyes. Even before I gave my heart to Christ, I didn't feel that way about other people because my mom didn't raise us to think about color like that. And then, like I said, when I got saved, I got radically saved, man. God washed all of that stuff out. So I didn't have hate for people in my heart. So after watching Officer Tatum for the first time, man, I wish that I could have slapped him high five with some of the stuff he was saying on TV. I mean, on the internet. I wish I could have slapped him high five because I'm like, brother, you saying everything I've believed in my heart for years. And then I heard Candace talking. And I thought, man, they make women like that. So and then, a few years later, I saw Jesse Peterson, and man, I love Jesse. He is so on the mark with the stuff he's saying. I agree with that. I think that it's biblically to tell the truth, and the stuff that he say is the truth. We as a black people have we seemingly have gone backwards, not forward. All of these years and all the stuff we have and all the opportunity, we keep saying that we are being held back and we don't have this. Man, I've been working since I was 13 years old. Every job I ever attempted, I was never told no, even jobs I didn't deserve. But when I got in them, God blessed my hands, man, and I excelled to the point where I got awards and trophies and stuff. But that was just because of the Lord. I know that was His grace and mercy in my life. So I didn't account, oh, this white guy holding me back. I couldn't get this job, couldn't get that job. And that's one of the things that, I want to reach out to young black people with and let them know, as long as you got Christ in your life, all things are possible, man. You don't have to be held back by anything. But we've preached that so much that even kids that never sniff slavery can repeat stuff about it. And but what about this person who was killed by this? And what about that? And what about this? Like, man, you wasn't even a speck in your father's eye when that happened. How do you even have that information? So anyway, I'm gonna play a little bit more of these clips. I want y'all to. I hope I don't get in trouble. You know, guys, I'm doing this as a tribute to you guys. I'm not trying to get no playing time, none of that. I just want you to know that in my heart, man, you just don't know how happy I am to see people like y'all doing what I wanted to do. So if they call you a Uncle Tom or a bootlicker or a slave, you know, whatever they call y'all, they can include me in that too because that's where my heart is. I want to see us do better by us doing better and not worrying about what somebody else is doing. So let's take a look at some of these clips a little deeper and then I'm gonna come on and say a few words at the end. So let's listen in right here. Jesse's getting ready to take this guy apart, and it's hilarious because he tries to give a definition of what he believes racism to be. Let's listen in.
You don't think you can uplift a community with $1 billion?
Uh-uh.
Why not?
You make them worse. Look at the black people. They've been given money and free stuff, government programs, and money for 60 years. They have only gotten worse. They haven't gotten better. They're still begging and burning and destroying
Jesse is the best at trolling people, man. I mean, he's got this guy on the fence, and they just started.
because they're not building character.
So let's just go forward a little bit here and let's get into what they're talking about. Okay, so he's supposed to be giving a definition here of what racism is. He's so young, man. He has no idea what real racism is. He's never seen what it looks like.
Like, I don't think we should separate racism from the other isms, right? So there's capitalism, which is like the idea that basically like powers are controlled based on like financial capital and stuff. And then
Capital and stuff.
there's like socialism, which is that the government should control capital and it
You
should go to
believe in
everyone.
socialism?
Okay, let me finish my first thing.
Jesse trying to get the boy all twisted up.
So, and then there's like communism, which thinks everything should be equal. And then there's racism, which is like another ism that is based on maintaining a social structure based on the idea of race. So keeping certain people in power and keeping certain people out of power. So like,
Is this boy Cantu Kamala? Because he is saying a whole bunch of nothing and doing a lot of talking to say it.
that would be racism if you like.
Can you define it for me? Racism.
I just did.
Who is in control of racism?
It's like a social construction.
Oh, so for an example, in the black community, they used to be two parents, and the father.
Now keep in mind, Jesse's about to really jack him right here. But this kid is supposed to be a social activist who leads black people in the right direction.
The mother thought and did for themselves. And then once the civil rights movement started, the parents gave up the men and put the men out. The women took over, and then the so-called civil rights leaders became the thinkers. They told the blacks what to do. Join the Democratic Party. We're gonna be your leaders. So are those black so-called leaders, the civil rights leaders, are they racist because they're controlling the blacks? They keep them poor, but they use them to get the money and the wealth and give it to their friends and may help them. Are they being racist?
What? Yeah, dude. Like, what?
Look, this guy, he just got his brain totally smoked. Jesse got him. And he's like, dude, what? What are you doing?
You talking about?
You're going to ask him, did he make this up?
like it's a real question.
Is that a definition of racism?
No.
Well, they're controlling the system in the black community. They tell blacks when to think, how to act mad so we can bring in more bills, and they end up with the money. So they're controlling the blacks. They're keeping the blacks here while they're living out in the hall. Are they racist?
Where'd you get this idea? Like,
Well,
did you make that yourself?
No, are they racist? What I'm asking.
No. Are black
And why
activists?
are they racist?
I said they're not.
Why is it they're not? They're controlling other blacks by keeping.
Jesse makes a good point. It kind of reminds me of what Booker T. Washington said about there are some people who don't want the plight of the Negro to change because they make money off of it. And some of these people who call themselves activists like Sharp and like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, it's all about the money. If there's no money involved, you won't see them there. All right, so that's it for Jesse. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of The Whole Truth and Nothing But the Truth with JB Greer. I want to say thank you to everybody who is subscribing to this channel. Remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button. Help me grow this channel. Let's get the message out. It's time to wake our people up, guys. Not that it's just our people. Let's wake up all people to the love of Jesus Christ. Peace.